So developing kind of a preschool and early years model here was actually very much led by working with 3, 4 and 5-year-olds and seeing how they built stories together. Because of the way that ideas are conceptualized at that age, it doesn't actually really fit the linear story model. And we were finding that when we worked with students of that age, they were really into character development. They could definitely pick an animal, they could tell you what it was called, and then they would want to build out their universe from a character point of view. So what ice cream it liked to eat, and it had this, and they were telling you a story because they would tell you, oh, well, they used to have this friend and they had done this together. And in the future, they're going to grow up to marry this and turn into a unicorn. But it was all centered around character information rather than in another couple of years when they tell you stories and then they went here, and then they went there, and then this happened, and then this happened. Just before that age, there's just telling you stuff about the character as if it's a real person that you need lots of information about. So based on that, we realized we needed a model that was less about getting to a cliffhanger because there's different kind of world building going on. So that was the first step that pushed us towards the picture book methodology. And the second one was that what is so powerful about putting the words on the screen as we do workshops with primary and secondary and other age groups is that they see their words being made real and they see their ideas being made real in the moment. But if you can't read, the words are only being put on the screen for the adults, really. You know, it's great for the primary school teacher or the preschool teacher or the Montessori teacher to see their words go up. But maybe the students don't know that the words are up there. Now, we've always used illustrators for anyone who maybe doesn't read off the screen very easily, people who are new to English. So it was really the very simple trick of going, well, we're going to take the words off the big screen and put the picture there, and we're going to make the words a smaller component. But we are capturing the imagination and the storytelling just in a visual language that the young people in front of us can read. And then because the drawing is nonlinear, it allows for that, adding the ice cream, adding the friend, adding the colour of the hair, and it actually works very naturally for that age group because they're not writing one sentence after another. They are putting lots of ideas into one static moment and then moving on. So it was more about finding a way to capture and reflect ideas that reflected the way they were thinking than changing anything about the model in terms of we're still prioritising that they invent characters, we're still prioritising that they lead the creative kind of motion of the story, and that there's still a lot of space at the end for them to go and take it wherever they want. But we do find at that very young age group that stories are quite static. Time doesn't really feature. So if you're planning to do workshops with this age group, it's about finding a way for them to explore usually a character in a kind of a time-neutral way. And we find building out drawings is a really good way to do that. If you're concerned about that in terms of a literacy initiative, you're still looking at stretching their vocabulary, getting them to read back and explain what the drawing means, who can remember what this was. It's a very, very oral process. And then at the end, we would add on a few key sentences that summarised what had been said on every page. So when they get the book back with the pictures that they can already explain, we are building in that couple of sentences down the bottom that hopefully they can read or can be read to them in time.